Booker T. Washington might be one of the most misunderstood figures of the African American civil rights movement. On the surface, he appeared to be the biggest Uncle Tom of the civil rights movement, while in private he was a completely different individual. Born a slave in Franklin County, Virginia on April 5, 1856, Booker Taliaferro, later Booker T. Washington, would rise up from slavery and become one of the most successful black men in America during his time. To the public, Booker T. would promote the acceptance of social discrimination and segregation. He believed that if African Americans worked hard enough and gained financial independence and cultural advancement, that they would eventually win the acceptance and respect from the white community. Washington also promoted the idea that blacks should focus on mainly vocational training. This caused an uproar amongst many African Americans. They felt that his views would leave them in the same subjugated positions that they were in during slavery. The views that Washington voiced to the public caused for much public backlash from famed civil rights leader W.E.B. Du Bois. Du Bois, an outspoken member of the Niagara Movement and the co-founder of the NAACP, felt that the key to the social elevation of the African American community was the developing of a small group of college-educated blacks he called the talented 10th. The Negro race, like all races, is going to be saved by its exceptional men. The problem of education then among Negroes must first of all deal with the talented 10th. It is the problem of developing the best of this race that they may guide the mass away from the condemnation and death of the worst. W.E.B. Du Bois. Along with his public views about race relations and the backlash from famed civil rights leaders such as Du Bois, Washington was held in high regard amongst the conservative whites and the financial elite of America. In fact, he saw very little opposition from them when it came to finding donations for any cause that needed help funding. As a result, Washington was able to find ample funding and support his school as well as many other organizations that he worked with. Washington would use the outside funding along with his personal money to help fund fellow black colleges such as Howard and Hampton. He gave numerous black youth money to go to school. He provided money for blacks to have adequate legal representation in court, ensuring that they got fair trials. Washington also brought famed scientist George Washington Carver to the Tuskegee Normal Institute to run the school's agricultural department. Under the leadership of Washington and Carver, the Tuskegee's agricultural department gained national recognition. They showed farmers alternative cash crops to cotton, as well as showed how to deal with boll weevils, bugs that live off cotton plants. In 1915, D.W. Griffith's movie Birth of a Nation was released. Washington, being a firm believer in the First Amendment rights, did not advocate the legal ban of the movie, or movies like it for that matter. Instead, he let his disgust for the movie be known to the public and urged the people to not go and see it. The movie was a form of racist propaganda and was held by critics as a masterpiece. Birth of a Nation was an inaccurate depiction of the Civil War and post-Civil War era from the perspective of the South. It portrayed the Union soldiers as plundering thieves and all black males as vicious murderers and rapists. It was used by the Ku Klux Klan to recruit new members. It also helped to fuel the social justification for the constant injustice against blacks nationwide. The film caused riots throughout the nation and was banned in certain cities. Washington, along with many other black filmmakers, were enraged by the film and decided to create movies that would depict the true story of the Civil War, as well as accurate depictions of what life was like for African Americans during that time period. Washington died a few months after the movie was released in 1915 of congestive heart failure at the age of 59. Booker T. Washington was a man of many faces. In the public, he appeared to most as the Uncle Tom of the civil rights movement, while in private, he fought for his people's rights. Majority of Booker T's contributions were not known to the public till after he died. Washington contributed greatly to the advancement of African Americans during his time period. He made sure that many youth got an education and ensured that farmers were able to grow lucrative crops. Booker T. Washington now has many monuments and schools standing in his honor, and his school, the Tuskegee Normal Institute, now Tuskegee University, is still in operation today. I have learned that success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life, as by the obstacles which he has had to overcome while trying to succeed. Booker T. Washington.